really, nothing stays the same. Every day is a different experience. Yeah, nothing. No, every day, because you can't bring what happened yesterday to today. Yeah. It's gone. Once it's done. That's why when you say something ugly about somebody, how can you take it back? You can't. You can apologize for it, but you can't take it back. It's done said. You know, and Charlie wouldn't listen. He was a lover boy. Christy was my joker in the deck. He always liked to tell jokes, you know, yeah. And then come Jeanette. She always been Elizabeth Taylor. She found out Diamonds was her best friend. Then JoAn come along. JoAn was the angel with the tail. The head and horns, you know, yeah. And then Bernard come along. Bernard was supposed to be the smart ass because he learned all from the others, you know, yeah. And I tried to tell him that. He said, well, how come you didn't do this for me and how come you didn't do that for me? I said, because you learned from all the other ones, so I thought you was well educated. Right. Yeah. So I didn't have nothing to say about Judy because I said the only one was an angel, she's buried.
Right. Perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
Never talk back.
That's right, yeah. And she was a pretty baby. I don't have no stories about her. She was a good worker. And she didn't get married until she was 25. Yeah. She always kept her nose to the grindstone. She loves to study, you know. Yeah.
How would you describe her to someone?
She was happy-go-lucky. Anytime her and I wanted to have I'd go out with her quicker than I would Jeanette. Because Jeanette, you have to dress. You have to wear this and you have to wear that. Now you know why I call her Elizabeth Taylor.
With Mommy don't?
Huh?
With Mommy don't?
No. She'd go just as, you know, we go just as is. Yeah. Because sometimes you can't get dressed up when you want to take a quick exit. Right. Yeah, you know, yeah. Yeah, that's the way life was, yeah.
What was her role growing up?
She liked to learn everything. I never laughed so hard in all my life as when the boys was going to show her how to ride a motorcycle. Yeah. They had just plowed up the field, you know. Yeah. She got out there in the field, hollering, "How do you stop this thing?" Got out of there, went all the way down the road, they come back. And then Bernard had a horse, and it was a one-man's horse, so you know what I'm talking about. And they got my garbage can, which the cans was made out of galvanized, you know, at that time. And they turned it bottom side up and put her on top of it, as she was kind of on the chunky side. And Lucille and I was sitting over there and we were watching them. And every time she tried to put her leg over the horse would move. So they moved the can. He kept moving the can. Pretty soon, she got one leg over, the can tipped over, and she fell on top of the can. And Lucille said, "Thelma, that's the most funniest thing I ever seen. Somebody flatten the can out." In fact, our boys still talk about it. But it was real funny, yeah. Then they tried to drown her with the watermelon.
What?
Yeah. We always took a watermelon to the river, you know, when the river was kind of low, and the kids put it in the water there, and the watermelon will float. And they pushed the watermelon under, and they pushed her under. They pushed the watermelon under, and she got drawn to them doing that to her. I had to go over there and tell them to stop it. I said, "You're killing your sister." Then they set her on fire one time. Out there in the woods, they were playing cowboys and Indians, and they must have been the Indians that put a fire. Oh, those boys are smart, you know, yeah. Yeah. And then I missed a lot of stuff in the house. I couldn't imagine what the heck went with it. I bought a brand new coffee pot. I couldn't find the dang thing. I said, hey, I'm losing my mind. And so one day I walked out in the woods there. They had taken a crochet rug that I had crocheted, used it for the top of the dang on hut. Then they took my electric coffee pot, which they didn't have no electric there, and must have built a fire, and the whole damn thing was busted all the heck, melted. I said, I found my coffee pot. Yeah, all burned up. And they weren't the only ones in it. The wise boys was in it too. That's why I called them the three wise men.
Not very wise.
No. Yeah, they were wise. They stayed away from here when they got into mischief. Yeah. Don't be afraid to say anything that you want to say. But always tell the truth. Whatever you say, don't put a sugar coating on it or anything. Just tell it as it is. Do like I did. I always told my family, I said, I'm going to live as long as God wants me to live. And I don't care what happens, I'll accept it as it is. And that's what you got to do. You got to accept it as it is. And don't be scared about anything. If anything happens to you, don't be scared about it. Because we all have to die sooner or later. I mean, we might have to die soon than later, you know, we don't know, yeah. I pray for all of them, and I always ask God. In fact, I thought I'd be dead by now, because I always ask God, take me when all my children can be all on their own. Yeah, I feel love. Yeah. Yeah, because all my children come to me for a lot of things. Even my grandchildren comes to me. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you like
Sometimes, well, it's just like you. Sometimes you feel love, and then sometimes you don't. You know, we have days like that. Yeah, yeah. But all my family, as far as I know, that they think a lot of me. Even though, Charlie gets kind of mad sometimes when they call me old lady. I said, don't. That's just a word. Because you get words by the bushels, but if you get stones and sticks, then watch it. Well, love to me can be many things. See, because love in Hawaiian is good morning, good afternoon, or you can use it in a more romantic way, you know, any way that you want to do it. And yeah, it can mean a lot of things. It's the way how you feel that within that time you say it. Because we always say, aloha. The only time you get laid out is when you go to Hawaii, you know. They put a lei around your neck.
right out?
Yeah. Do you weigh and buy them all that? You're a dang sucker, I told him. He said, don't call me a sucker. I said, well, that's what you are. You're not a lollipop. Because we always say, aloha.